Hi everyone, I hope you're all well. We've put this video together today to explain to you what the school's intentions are regarding the reopening or full reopening of the schools from Monday the 8th of March. We're going to do a staggered approach for year groups to come into school, and this is because of the testing that's required for both staff and pupils as they return to school.
So just looking at the PowerPoint slides in front of us here, this is what we plan to do. Monday the 1st of March, we would be inviting all Year 11 pupils back into school. Tuesday the 2nd, we would have Year 10s with all of sixth form, Year 12, 13 and 14. Wednesday the 3rd of March, the Year 9s are coming in. Thursday the 4th, Year 8s, and finally Friday the 5th of March, the Year 7s. Now next week we will have a crossover between teaching class groups in school but also delivering remote teaching to pupils at home. So we will keep the critical workers and vulnerable children in their year group bubbles at school until their whole year group returns. They will come in as normal, and the timetable for remote teaching for your child's class will continue as normal until they come into school. So by Monday the 8th of March, we will have all pupils back in school. The school day is as normal as we had prior to Christmas. 8:55 school opens for pupils to come into school, and 3 p.m. Parents can collect their child, followed by 3:10 when school transport comes. And that was how we set the timetable up in September to allow for a smooth transition of pupils moving down the corridors as safely as we can through COVID procedures.
So we'll put this letter together that's coming out to you in the post, being sent out today, so you receive this very shortly. It's explaining to you the staggered return for year groups from next week, but it also mentions about the lateral flow tests and the tests that your child will need to take. So we can either return this is really important to get back as soon as possible for us. If we don't have the consent signature, then your child will not be able to take the test. And the reason why we're taking the test is to make sure that we stop the spread of the virus in school. So you can either send this back with a signature by post, you can either hand deliver it, or the best way is to go onto the school website, download a copy, take a photograph of the consent form with your signature on, and email it back to school. And at the bottom of the letter is the address for the school, the admin email address, and that will come straight through to the school office, and then we have the consent instantly. I know some pupils will be very concerned about taking the test, will be very anxious, and we fully understand their concerns with having to administer one of these tests, lateral flow tests. But I think the best thing to do is actually see one of our pupils in action and just see what the test involves for those of you who haven't had a test yet. So it might ease your mind and also your child's mind about what's actually involved in taking a lateral flow test. Okay, so we brought you into the gym just to show you how the lateral flow test works. All the staff have been coming in recent weeks, and pupils in the critical and vulnerable category. So from next week, your child will come in, and the first thing they would do when they get their test is to blow the nose. So Rachel's kindly come in, and Rachel, if you want to just blow your nose there. And she'll wash her hands, put the sanitizer on, and then she walks over to the desk and she will get a lateral flow test. Top's taken off, and Rachel will collect that top bit there. She walks over to the mirror and she's looking to put the lateral flow test to the sides at the back, not right down the middle but at the sides. Okay, so you want to do that now, Rachel? That's it, and then she does the other side as well. And then she puts the lateral flow on the nostril, and then she returns that to the member of staff. Who will test that the test is actually active. Whoops, a bit wobbly. And we'll test it. Actually, the test is actually going to be a thorough test that can be used to monitor if it's a positive or negative. Okay. So it's a really straightforward test to do. Miss Sugden is there just checking that this test is valid now. The validation of this test takes just a few seconds, and once that's given the okay, we can use that to decide it and get the results for a positive or negative. Okay. So it's very straightforward, it's very simple to use. Some pupils will need some support with it, but if, again, like I said, if pupils are anxious and they do not want to take part in this test, we will not force them to do so. But the more pupils who take the test helps us reduce the spread of this virus around the country, but basically around this school.
I've done the test several times, and it is a bit uncomfortable, but it is pretty much straightforward.
Okay, so the letters regarding the staggered return to school and information regarding the lateral flow tests, they're coming out in the post. It's also on the school website as well. So we really need those consent forms back as soon as you possibly can. I really appreciate that. And then we can actually test your child. Other things we need to remember: if your child's borrowed a laptop or an iPad, can they bring them back into school on the first day that they return? And finally, it's a very busy time at the school. We've actually got building work on as well to top everything else off. So they are building 6 extra classrooms at the back of the school. So pupils, if your child actually comes to school and goes through yard A onto yard B to get to their classroom, that will be closed off. There'll be no opportunity for any staff or pupils to go from yard A to yard B. So if you do need to get to your classroom from yard B section, then you'll need to go through the main entrance of the school on your first morning back. Otherwise, can I just say a big thank you to all the parents and carers for their continued support throughout this time. I know it's been really difficult for everyone at home, and we're looking forward to seeing pupils back return to school as soon as possible. Bye for now.